And we will open with the opening comment from Coach Sprinkle, and then we'll go to anybody up here in the day. So go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, first thing, super proud of my team. The season we had, it was historic for Utah State to win 28 games, an outright Mountain West championship, to win a game in the NCAA tournament against a tough Big 12 team. Couldn't be more proud of our guys. Darius, obviously, a senior leader, our other, senior Landon Brenchley, for what they did from a leadership standpoint, bringing 13 brand new players together, was absolutely incredible. Shows what kind of character our team has. Tonight just ran into a buzzsaw. We knew they were really good. I think there's elite teams and there's special teams, and like they can be special. When you have a player, like Zach Edey, he's special. Like, there hasn't been many guys like that in college basketball history, and so, that's why I think they can just take it to another level. And we told our guys even before, like, yeah, Zach Edey's obviously a national player of the year. They got other really, really good players, and they can't go unnoticed. I thought it seemed like they made every three-pointer and every even mid-range jump shot tonight, which you have to make them make some of those, and if they do, you just got to pat them on the butt and say congrats. But couldn't be more proud of our team, and it was one of those games. We ran into a buzzsaw, but it doesn't take away what we accomplished this year.
Right here.
Danny, Steve Streaming, XL8 Sports. Watched a lot of Mountain West basketball. This cannot define your team because you guys won that championship, and there are 6 teams playing in this tournament. Talk a little bit about your team and what you think you guys accomplished this year, and especially Darius, because he scored some baskets late, but he's an elite guard.
He is. What our team did this year was historic. I don't know if it'll be done again at the Power 5, Power 6 level. When you're playing Mountain West, Big Ten, like, it's hard to do with a completely brand new roster. Was there some luck involved? No question. But when you have a leader like Darius, who literally just put guys on his shoulders and showed them the way, and as a point guard, he was an extension of our coaching staff, and from the summer on, and he deserves more credit than anybody, because what he did with this pretty young group, and to build confidence in those guys by being a true point guard and like getting those guys shots, it made our whole team better. It made everybody more confident. And like I said, there's some tremendous point guards in the Mountain West, guys that'll play in the NBA, and don't be surprised if this kid does. He has intangibles and he has elite skills that not many players do nowadays, and that's being more for a point guard, being there for a teammate, getting guys shots. Like, he would rather do that than shoot, and he's made so many of our guys, so much better and more confident throughout the year. And, he's elite. For him to do that in our league, like I said, with the point guards in our league, there was only one that led their team to an outright championship, and that's him. And that's an unbelievable accomplishment.
Right back here.
Jack Johnson, the Utah Statesman. What are your thoughts on those 4 quick fouls at the beginning of the game on Sacco and Johnson?
Yeah, it's hard. Like, he's hard to guard without fouling. They've shot almost 400 more free throws than their opponents this year for a reason. And that's why I was saying, like, he's a special player. You have to guard completely different than you have all year. Like, there's post guys that you play against that you have to double team and do all this, but like, it's impossible when he keeps it high and he's got great touch and he's finding guys and they got elite shooters around him. It's kind of pick your poison, and you have to hope they miss shots, and then you got to be able to rebound it. And I thought that's kind of when the game started breaking open, was when they started getting some second chance points. But the refs were great. Like, yeah, we probably fouled them.
Right here.
Sean Harrison with the Herald Journal. Coach, did you think about calling a timeout during that run? I know you like to let the guys kind of play it out, but when they started getting some momentum and the crowd got into it, did you think about a timeout at all during that?
Yeah, we did. We did at one point, in the first half, and it was that 1 4-minute span. They outscored us by 11, and it was bad offense on our part. We were pretty good the first, 12 minutes maybe of offense. It was a pretty close game. And then we kind of got a little selfish, and we started going one-on-one, and a couple turnovers, a couple just driving into multiple bodies and, missing layups. And then if you fall down, they're transitioning. and that's where the game kind of got out of hand there.
Right back, right over here.
Jason Walker with Catch for the Daily. Coach, how much do those fouls impact maybe even your offense, just your rotation in general, where a lot of guys had to take a seat on the bench and it kind of threw you guys off, and then obviously Purdue went on a run late in the half as you guys were picking up more and more fouls?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It throws off your rotations, and it's hard. Like, we don't have enough big bodies to keep throwing at Edie. Like Carson and Great, those are the two really that have some meat on their bones that can kind of – now, it's not like you're going to move him, but at least you can hold your ground a little bit. But they got, obviously when Khalifa got in, they scored 6 straight points, on offensive putbacks and not boxing out and things like that, which, affected us early. But, like I said, you can game plan all you want, but then you got to go play the game. And it comes down to, I thought they had great pace. They were aggressive. Even off their DHOs, their guards were really pushing the ball downhill. And now you have Edie rolling. And now we got a 6'2", 180-pound guy tagging on the roll. It's different.
Right here.
Colin McMahon, Hoosier Network. Darius, what did it mean to you to make this transition from Montana State to Utah State with Coach Sprinkle, make back-to-back NCAA tournaments with 2 different schools, and then get your first NCAA tournament win this year?
Darius?
Yeah, it was special. These past 2 years with Coach Sprinkle have been special and very essential to my future, and I can't thank him and the staff enough for what they've done for me. The transition from Montana State to the Utah State was definitely a transition, more of just because of the whole new roster and everything. But I mean, I felt my whole career that I could play at a high level and play in a really good conference, and it took some time for me to move up, due to opportunities and all different types of things, but I've always felt I could play at this level, and I'm glad that for my last year I got an opportunity to play in a very high-level conference like the Mountain West Conference and show what I can do. So,
Right over here.
Sean Harrison with the Herald Journal again. Ian, can you talk a little bit about that first half when it seemed like you really got going, those back-to-back threes, and I think you scored 11 straight points for the team?
Ian?
Yeah, throughout the season, I felt like, at times where I saw just one basket go in, I just kind of get going. I've told my teammates or coaches, I kind of just need one shot to go in to start moving, to get hot. So that's basically what happened. It happened a couple of times before in the season, New Mexico, UNLV, 12 points, 10 points in a row.
Right here.
For the players, Coach talked about how remarkable the season was. I guess could just both the players just talk about what it means for you guys to be part of this team, how unique it was to have the success you did, given the circumstances you guys were in.
Ian, we'll start with you.
No, for me, it's really special. I mean, just in my personal journey, it's been really tough. I've been in a lot of different places, and it's an international. A lot of times I just look for a place to call home, and this guys, just the coaching staff, the players, they just made it really special for me. They took me, they were there for me the whole time. They believed in me, and I, never had people who actually believed in me, and it meant a lot for me.
Darius?
Yeah, to me, I mean, everything just, feels kind of like a storybook ending. Starting from 2 years ago when I broke my knee at Cal State Northridge and had to sit out the whole year, and then making that grad transfer to Montana State, then kind of going into it like a completely different situation as far as the whole team was kind of already there, and I was just, me and 2 other guys were the transfers. So dealing with, a team that's already been there, and then dealing, with that, and then the next year it's the complete opposite, where I'm the one that has the most familiarity with the coaching staff, and it's a brand new team, and then still able to do great things and win an outright title and win a tournament game, and just all the ups and downs of the year. Like it just seems, to me in my college career, just a storybook ending. Obviously, we would have liked to keep going as long as we could, but when you run into a team like Purdue, and they have a guy like Zach Edey, and then when the guys around them are making shots, it's like there's only so much you can do. So
We have time for a couple more. Right here.
I don't know if you want to share, Darius, but it seemed like you and Coach had a really long talk when he pulled you out of the game. Did you share anything that the coach said to you during that moment?
Just that he's proud of me, and that it's been a long, great year. It's been a long, great year. The short version of the story.
Super thankful. So I know the reason this team is here and won an outright championship is because he made a decision to come to Utah State. And like, I can't speak more highly of the person he is and how much he means to me personally, but this team, our staff, and I know, like I said, he's a legend now in Utah State basketball with the way he played this year and some of the shots he hit.
Last question.
Coach Sprinkle, you mentioned how special and historic this season was for your team. Looking off the court, what do you think made this season possible for you guys?
The way our guys came together, you could see in the summer, some of the local guys, Mason and Isaac and Landon, bringing the team to their house, or even their parents' houses and having barbecues, and them showing them around Cache Valley, going up to Bear Lake, and the camaraderie that built in the summer, it translated to the court. And then we coached them pretty hard, like we put them through some hard stuff, even in the summer and in the fall. Even trying to break a couple of guys, just to kind of see what they were made of, and made them rely on their teammates, to be there for each other. And the first time I really saw it was in the Cayman Islands, when I saw how close this team was, and the way they, just by their interaction, whether it was walking in the hotel or at pregame meals, and you could see there was something special there. Now, I never would have told you we'd win an outright championship in the Mountain West, but you could see that this group had something and they cared about each other.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck
You
to you.
bet. Thank
Yeah.
you.